Hey people of the VC, it's Andy at Cloudy Mulder. If you follow my Cloudy Mulder Facebook page, you'll see today that I've been on quite a heavy Doom and Stoner kick. So I thought it would be fun to show the Stoner Doom record collection that I've built up over the last few years. Fairly new to the genre. I don't really have anything that you probably consider in the classic Stoner Doom. A lot of the stuff I've got into and picked up as I found on Bandcamp, and a lot of them are newer bands. So if you're into that whole genre, hopefully you'll find something interesting here, and maybe some new bands to check out as well. I'm not going to go down and show anything like Sabbath albums or anything like that, even though they're the godfathers of Doom. But I am going to start off with a few honorary mentions. These are bands that I keep in the Stoner Doom section on the shelf, but they don't really come in that category. If you look on places like Discogs or what have you, they'll probably have them maybe as alternative rock or blues rock or psychedelic rock, space rock, that kind of thing. So honorary mentions: Wolfmother. I have a couple of Wolfmother albums. I'm still looking for a copy of the first album. Don't mind getting a reissue, but I've got Cosmic Egg, which is a phenomenal album, and Victorious, which I think is the latest one. Really good stuff. So these on the reason they're honorary mentions is the reason they in that Doom Stoner section is because they all have these ones have they have that fuzzy riff element to it that I like so much. Royal Blood. I think I showed this one either in a competition or recent update. These are great. These are just a two-piece, I think, made up of a bass and drummer, bass playing drummer and vocals, obviously. Yeah, I was blown away when I found there weren't actually any guitars on this album. It's killer stuff. On the softer side, the more melodic side, and upbeat side, this is Hollow Bones by Rival Sons. This was a great purchase from my point of view. It was £6 on Amazon. I had to listen to it on YouTube and thought, wow, that sounds really good, I'm going to pick that up for £6. And when I listened to the whole album, I thought, no, that is amazing, I'm going to go back and buy more copies at £6 and sell them on, because I can't believe it's a gatefold, but it's a single album. I can't believe this is just going for £6. But when I clicked on the link a few days later, the link took me to a CD. So I think Amazon got it wrong, rectified it, but still went through and ordered it, and it's even signed as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures. Yep. And inner sleeve, pictures of the band, songs. And the last honorary mention is this is Heavy Glow, Pills and Swine and Everything Fine. Difficult to stick this in any category, to be honest with you. It's kind of unique sounding out of certainly the albums I've got. There's elements, there's kind of a blues feel to it, blues rock, psychedelic rock, classic hard rock, stoner elements, a bit of fuzz in there as well. This is a killer album. So this is something from 2014, I think. But yeah, Heavy Glow, amazing album. Check that one out. That's something a little bit different. So now on to the more sort of classic albums that fit more within the stoner and doom genre. First is I picked this up when I was in Atlanta, in work, Atlanta, Georgia. It was a blind buy. I haven't played it that much, to be honest. I can't really remember a lot what it's like, and it does fit into the stoner bracket, but it's really it's a coloured vinyl. It's on this clear red vinyl, but it's really noisy, not crackly like you'd think the album was poorly treated. It looks perfect, it just sounds terrible. Next up, one that I was playing today that you would have seen on my Facebook page, that's Black Wizard and New Waste. This is what, 20 2015, I guess. I can't see. Black on gold writing. Yeah, great stuff. I think these guys are from Canada. There's the inner with the lyrics, and this is on a beautiful, it looks a lot brighter in real life, orange vinyl. Next up, now this is a band you can't say after a few drinks. This is Chubby's Thunderous Bad Kush Masters, and they're it's a 6-track EP, I guess. Earth Hog. Yeah, great song names: Chopsticks and Bad Meatballs, Devil's Buttermilk, Mother Chub, Riff Richard, Bongwater Blues, and Earth Hog. Really good kind of stoner desert rock. Really good riffs to that. That's the inner. They're into doing a lot of tie-dye stuff. If you look on their follow them on Facebook, they're selling a lot of, make their own tie-dye t-shirts and sell them. It's kind of their thing. And this comes on a really beautiful aquamarine vinyl. Next up, this one's on the Ripple Music label. This is a band called Devil to Pay. This is Fate Is Your Muse. This is their first album. Ripple put out a lot of great sort of stoner doom bands, and if I see anything on Ripple, I'll pick it up and give it a go, because really cool stuff. So this is more sort of, again, stoner than the doom bracket. And I have their follow-up album, which is A Bend Through Space and Time, which is also absolutely fantastic. It's not a colour vinyl, this one, but I thought the labels were worth showing. There's the A side, which is not focusing. Focus on me. There we go. And there's a B side. Oop. Very cool. Now, Elder. Elder are kind of a progressive, psychedelic-ish doom band. This is a die cut cover, so you can see that the vinyl through there, but that's not what you see when you buy it. It's a double album, and there are only 5 tracks on it, so it's pretty much, well, progressive doom. Each of the tracks is really long. The reason for the die cut is that each of the 2 inner sleeves for the album come with these amazing sort of pieces of artwork. So depending on which one you choose to go at the front of the album is what you see through the die cut windows. But it's absolutely amazing artwork there. And also there's a lyric sheet with the 5 songs and another piece of artwork in there as well. And I think it's their latest album. I don't know if they've done one since, but this is Reflections of a Floating World. Again, I think this is this a double? No, it's just a single album, but it's on this green vinyl. I've seen Elder twice in Edinburgh live, and thoroughly enjoyed it on both times. But I find I've got to be in the right mood to listen to the studio albums. They're brilliant live. If you get a chance to see them live, go and see them. A lot of energy, and it's just a really good experience to see them. But I find that the albums can be a bit long just to listen to at home. Again, comes with the nice artwork on the inside and a note sheet. And yeah, well, there's that green vinyl again. It is a double. Took that one out before I forgot. Next up, another band that I saw live in Edinburgh. Now this band, they're from Houston, Texas. They were over when that big hurricane hit a couple of years back, and they were kind of joking, saying hope they'll be able to get home okay. And this is a Funeral Horse. This album is called Sinister Rites of the Master. They always put something a bit hokey on the edge. You probably can't see that, but it's in German, and I'm not going to attempt to read it. Now these are well, they're definitely stoner rock. Slightly distorted sound to the vocals as well. Almost a homemade feel to the inner sheet with this one. Thank yous, and it's like a story on the back rather than lyrics. But it's really good stuff. They were awesome live. There was only about I remember my mate just pinged me and said this band are playing tonight. Do you want to go see them? And really badly marketed. There was only about 10 of us in the audience, and they just put on a fantastic show. Anyway, so Sinister Rites of the Master comes on this kind of pink and powder blue splatter, not really a swirl thing going on there. Kind of nice. And I bought two of these albums actually. Kind of felt sorry for them, so I bought a load of merch off them because they put on such a good show for such a poor turnout. This is Divinity for the Wicked, or yep. I'm getting some cool artwork on the inside. I don't think there's a inner with this one, just plain black vinyl. Oh, there is an inner. There we go. Again, has that kind of homemade printed feel to it. Lyrics. Serpent on the back. Very cool. The last one I'm going to show in fact, no, I was going to split into two parts, but I've whizzed through this, and I'd rather not split into two parts. So this is Iron Void. Now this is Doom. This is Doomsday by Iron Void. Saw these guys support Wretch in Edinburgh. I've got to meet them after. Really cool guys actually. Had a nice chat with them, and signed limited edition 164 of 240. At times this is really doomy. At times this is kind of doom metal and a bit more upbeat, but all the way through, really good double album by Iron Void. Check them out. They've been going for I think about 20 years or so now, I think. That's the only album I have by them. I'm going to be opening the plastic sleeves on these, so you're going to hear that horrible tearing because I wasn't prepared. This is Hollow Leg. Crown. This is a band I found on Bandcamp and imported this from the US. This has more of a really growly vocals. It's on this beer coloured vinyl with swamp green splatter. Honestly, I don't know who comes up with the colour combinations for these. Let's say this is more of a guttural type vocal, but again, some killer artwork. You also get really good artwork on sort of stoner doom albums. So that's Hollow Leg, Crown. What do we have now? Another band I saw live, another album I picked up when I saw them live. This is King Buffalo Orion. These guys were supporting Elder the second time I saw Elder live. Very nice, came with a CD. I always love it when an album comes with a CD. There's the inner. Now this is more sort of atmospheric stoner doom type stuff. But it's the, yeah, and this one comes on a kind of a clear orange vinyl as well. But these, yeah, this is more. You can have chill out doom. Maybe these guys would fit in with it. Very cool stuff. Signed copy as well, which is nice. Mothership, self-titled. This album is brilliant. I've actually got two copies here. I dropped one on my turntable one time and had a really nasty scratch across it. And then when I saw it cheap again, I kind of had to pick up another copy because it just irked me so much. So I do have two copies in here, but absolutely brilliant album on the Ripple label. Can't go wrong with Mothership. Well, say you can't go wrong. I do have the follow-up album to that, which is High Strangeness. I don't enjoy this one as much. I probably haven't given it enough time. See, it's signed as well, but I didn't get to see these guys live. Actually, my mate picked this up for me and got it signed by the band I was I was on holiday at the time, so I missed the gig, unfortunately. I do hope they come back, because I would love to see Mothership live. Sedulous, this is a stoner band from London. This is what, a couple of years old now at least, maybe 2016, 2015, 2016. Yeah, okay. So we have an inner, which it just looks like the album cover. Actually, doesn't really give a lot of extra information. I think it's on plain back vinyl. But again, this is slightly different. It doesn't really fit in the standard stoner mold. It's quite sort of melodic at times as well, but it's really cool stuff. I would recommend giving these guys a listen as well. This is the Sleepers Awaken. Next up, Sgt Thunder Hoof. This is Ziggurat on silver vinyl. Now, Sgt Thunder Hoof are are an interesting lot. So these guys aren't signed to a label, and from what I can gather, they're not looking to be signed. This is on silver vinyl. They're not looking to be signed. They self-fund all of their albums. They give all of their music away free. If you go to Bandcamp, you can listen to everything they've got, and you can download everything they've got, even in lossless format, for free. They do charge for the albums, so they do kind of run crowdfunding to get physical copies printed, and they do sell the physical copies. But if you're happy with just little digital copies, you can go to Bandcamp and download it all for free. This was a limited press of 150. It's just kind of really good, sort of infectious stoner doom. Really good band. Still, they've got a new album out, which I've not got around to picking up yet, which I hope isn't sold out, because I'd like to get it on vinyl. Just there's so much I want to get on vinyl. This was their second album, I believe. This is Sgt Thunder Hoof and Ride of the Hoof. This is 80 of 400. It's a double album, the front and the back, and I've got the records in the middle. No, I haven't got the records in the middle. It's the gatefold with the lyrics. But these are a really cool band. I kind of like their what they're doing with it. I mean, it's obviously not going to be for everybody, because a lot of bands, although they're doing it for the music, they do need to make some money out of it as well. Probably one of the classic albums I've got in my collection, one that isn't obviously new at all, is Sleep with Sleep's Holy Mountain. This is a fairly recent repress. If I remember rightly, it's on purple vinyl. Yeah, there we go, clear purple. So you can't really see that because of the light. And there's the inner sleeve. So this was originally 1991, I believe. 1992 on earache, and this is a 2015 repress. Now, next up, this is the band that got me into listening to stoner rock in the first place. It's not one of the classic bands like Caius or Fu Manchu. I don't have anything by those guys actually. But this is another band from London, another one that I saw live up in Edinburgh a few years back now. And that's Stake. And first couple of releases were just sort of EPs, but songs like the Butcher, Gore Whore, absolutely killer stuff. And the artwork is really cool. If you're into your comic book art, you can't go wrong with Stake. This here is kind of a story about the what's going on over here, and the band are in the cartoons as caricatures. They follow that up with so that was called Disastronaut, and this is Corned Beef Colossus. Again, another 5-track EP. Black Milk, Liquid Gold. Liquid Gold is a great track. Clan's Hammer, Whiskey Mule, and Acid Dave. Again, continuing that comic book feel in the gatefold. This one's on blue vinyl. I should insert Disastronaut, did I? Disastronaut is on like a brown vinyl, dark brown vinyl, which is kind of unusual. The first studio album, which they were touring with when I saw them, is Slab City. Again, all artwork by the same chap, and a comic book in the middle. This is on blue vinyl as well, I think. Oh no, it's on black. But yeah, absolutely love this band. Hope I can get to see them live again. Having one of those inner sleeve moments that we all love. And their latest album, which came out last year, 2017, is No God to Save. Again, killer gatefold. Any goodies in here, if I remember? No, just plain black vinyl. 4 more, bear with me. Now, talking of cool artwork, this is Valkyrie and Shadows. Now, this is made up from members, or at least 1 or 2 members of Baroness, and there we go. And this is really, really good. In fact, it's supposed to be that way up, isn't it? There we go. I've got the bag in sideways so I can get the album out. Nothing fancy smancy in here. Just a lyric sheet. But yeah, listen to this today as well. Check them out on YouTube because it's just a great album. It's probably more on the metal side of stoner, but superb nonetheless. Then we have Wasted Theory, Death and Taxes. This is another one I imported from the US, and rather ironically being called Death and Taxes. It was an absolute steal in terms of the cost of the vinyl and the cost of the postage. I think they may have messed up the cost of the postage, but I got stung on import tax, and it kind of brought it up to probably a little bit more expensive than you'd expect to pay for an album. But it's good. It's very fuzzy. It's very gruff. But yeah, love it all the same. Wasted Theory, cool band. Last but one. This is Wretch. So this is the band I saw that Iron Void was supporting. In the sleeve, I think plain black vinyl. Oh no, it's on a red vinyl. So this is on Bad Omen Records. This is on kind of a maroon vinyl, but this is really good. It's a very short album. There's only 6 tracks on it, but excellent doom metal. And last but not least, finish with a stoner. This is by a band called Zed, Trouble in Eden, and again this is on Ripple. There. And again, sort of infectious, good riffy, heavy riffy stoner rock. I love this band. Hope to pick up some more of their stuff, something like that. So very colourful and difficult to read lyric sheet as well. So there we go. That's my small corner of my record collection that accounts for all my stoner doom fuzz related albums. I've not really added anything to it in the last year or so. I've kind of not been listening to too much, but I picked up a Candlemass album, which you'll see on one of my Music for Nations videos coming up soon as I finish off that series, and it kind of got me in the mood to pull out a few of these records again and give them a spin, and I've thoroughly enjoyed doing it. I find that stoner and doom, whereas heavy metal gets me in the head, stoner and doom gets me in the gut, and if you can really kind of feel it in your gut, it's a good album. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that run through. If you're still with me, thanks for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Cheers.